fast and you do what you want. At this time, doing what I want. Hope you doing what you want.
Oh, I have another. Oh my gosh, I gotta tell you all that. I have another job,
Girl, bye.
but see,
Girl, bye.
it's a whole lot of, and I be getting bored at work, or be getting mad, and I be going on Indeed every other day.
Girl, bye.
But it's not like I think it's technically supposed to take the place of my job, which is so scary. Which makes me like,
I don't think you
how
should
did
do
I
it.
get to? I think you should not stay at a job more than 2 years. If you don't want to, if you don't want that to be your career, you
Yeah.
don't need to stay there more than 2 years. Because here I am, 4 years in, and I'm terrified to make a move because that's all I know.
And I feel like when I get to that place, which, I'm still wanting to grow with it, but, I still like I have my own things that I kind of want to like invest my time into. And I'm definitely gonna be terrified to take that step because this is my first job. I've been with this company for 8 years, and like this is literally all I know. I have not had a second job. I haven't had literally nothing. So it's
Oh yeah.
literally gonna scare me to do an interview. What? Or like even if, just in general, like hopefully it would be my own business that would, and not having to go to somebody else's.
Right. It's so scary.
Yeah.
Like, I really don't, and I hate it because anybody who knows me knows I hate going to work.
Yeah.
I hate it. But it's comfortable. I know what to expect. Even being in a different job, I still, at this point, I know what to expect.
Mhm.
So going somewhere and it's like, and I've had second jobs, so like that doesn't really even scare me. It's just, it technically wouldn't be it, it just wouldn't be my job anymore. And
Is
that,
it full time?
yes.
What?
Yes, I see.
Oh
I'm telling
my.
you, I be doing stuff. I just be so inspired at work, and don't let me be mad. Now I'm about to go and apply at 15 different places because I want to get out of here. And now it's like,
So, like, is it something that like you actually want to do, or
I don't know. It seems good. I gotta tell you about all the details. Girl, I got a call back this afternoon and I went to sleep. I was just like, this is too much for me. I'm not dealing with it.
well, I
Went to
feel
sleep.
like your current job, I wouldn't leave there. I would work like once a month to keep it.
Yeah,
To
I
keep it
know. Oh, I wouldn't just go. But
like,
the way that they are, they probably wouldn't let me. They're spiteful, so they probably wouldn't let
but
me.
like it is what
I'd
it
probably
is.
have to transfer stores or something.
You could come up with something. You could just
I
be like,
know.
"Oh, like school.
I know. It's
I got,
just even doing all of that and like having to have those girl, I bit off more than I could chew. But at the same time, like, I know that I need to change. I know that. So it's
Yeah.
like, do I let myself get in my head and stay stuck where I am unhappy, or do I step out on faith? And you know what's crazy? When I was in Pine Mountain, I was thinking about work and I was like, Lord, please let me be able to leave. I feel like this is before I applied. I don't know. But I was like, Lord, please let me be able to leave this job. And Whitney said, and find something better. And I was like, yes, yes, and find something better. And then it happened. So I'm like, is
Mm,
it? But like, I don't know. It's just, girl,
yeah.
whoo, life is lifing right now.
I feel like I struggle with that. Like,
It's
you know, you
hard.
kind of like pray for something and then like it kind of comes up and then it's like you second guess it,
Yeah.
and it's like such a struggle. Like, is it really God, or is it like, am I just convincing myself otherwise? You know what I'm saying?
Psyching yourself out, basically.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I have going on in my
Yeah.
life currently. But it's all gonna work out. So
Yeah, for sure.
I ain't tripping
Mm-mm.
whatsoever,
No, you
I
shouldn't.
guess. I don't
You should
know.
not.
So I've been all over TikTok today, as I am. My TikTok is, first of all, there's so much happening in the world right now. It's too much. I'm tired of seeing Diddy. I'm over it. It's trial day 3. I love trials because I want to be a lawyer, not a criminal lawyer though. But I still like trials. So whenever there's a big trial, like I'm always tuned in, like what's happening today. Sickery, sickness. It's so weird.
You
It's
know
so
what?
weird.
It's on my For You page a little bit, but not really.
Don't interact. Don't like, just
Oh
swipe. If
no.
you read a
I don't.
comment, like a comment, oh, you're flooded.
Oh no, I
You're
don't.
flooded.
I don't.
It's crazy. But it just really goes to show that, like, when you're young and impressionable, like, I would say between 16 to 23, 24, meeting the wrong person at that time can literally change the trajectory of your life.
Hmm.
Man, friends, like a job,
Okay.
getting a job at that time, and like, not saying that it's a bad job, but you just get complacent and you don't know it. It's hard. There's so much that's going on, like getting out of high school, and like you really find out who you are when you leave high school, when you don't have the influences of all the people around you, and it's like, oh, it's just me.
Yeah.
And I know for me, I didn't automatically transition into a new friend, like into new friends. So I feel like I got to spend time alone and like kind of figure out who I was.
Yeah.
And like,
Because you're not like constantly surrounded by
right,
people like people your age in a
right,
sense, like yeah, at work we have some people that are around our age and then
right.
some people, that aren't. But like for the most part, we're not constantly with people that are our same age. So like that transition is hard.
Yeah,
It's different.
it is.
Yeah.
But it's so needed, like,
Yeah.
to, you really learn like who you are, and like, okay, what if I didn't like dressing like that, but everybody else just dressed like that, so I did. You learn
Mm-hmm.
your style, like music, like that's such a important time. So it's really important to like, to just be aware of the company you keep
Yeah.
at that time, 16, 17, getting out of high school, starting college, because everybody ain't raised the same. Stuff that's cool for them is like, whoa, like we don't ever do that over here.
Yeah.
You realize that a lot of people are on hard drugs. I realize that.
No, for real.
What?
No, for
What do
real.
you mean?
Yeah.
No. Like, for real, it's so weird, and it's like, whoa, like, and
Yeah.
I've seen that, and I'm never cool with me. Like, that's just the line that I draw. But all that to say that, just like, just be aware of the people that you keep, and like, if you have a gut feeling about someone, you have to go with it. Don't try to sit here and rationalize. You can't make something that doesn't make sense. You can't apply
Yeah.
rationality in a rational situation. If it
Yeah.
feels wrong, it's wrong.
I feel like if you have a friend and they're making you feel some type of way, depending on what it is, the situation, and like you just have this like that's not cool, but like y'all are just so close, like you should know like if they're making you feel some type of way and it's like they're hurting your feelings or just anything like that,
Mhm.
um, go the other way.
Yeah. And there really becomes a time where you have to like evaluate your friendships and like what I don't know, because I think a lot of the times you have friendships for so long, and so it's that bond that is history,
Mhm.
but it may not necessarily be beneficial.
Yeah.
It could actually be toxic, but you've just known each other for so long, and it's like you can't let go because it's all you've known.
But even friends that like you just meet,
Yeah.
like if you're transitioning to like a new, like by yourself, like when I left home, went to college, and I had nobody. The city that I was in, I didn't know anybody. And I was having to figure my way around alone. And then, I found some friends and everything like that. And that didn't work out. And just like the friendship breakup of that, even though I knew the person for a short period of time, it was still so hard.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a couple years, but just that fallout, is still hard, regardless if you knew the person for a long time. Because some people get closer with certain people faster than, people that you've known for a decade.
Right.
you know? So regardless of it, it could be toxic and it's extremely hard.
Yeah. It really is. It really
Yeah.
is. But you just, like I said, you just really have to be aware of the company you keep in,
Yeah.
what people are bringing to your life. And, if you have more bad times than good and you have more arguments than good, then like you just got to reevaluate. And you don't even have to cut the friend off. Sometimes distance for
Yeah.
me.
Mhm.
No love lost. Sometimes it's too much. It's just too much. So we just speak when we speak now, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I think that's fine. I have a lot of friendships. So like I said, my friendships just cycle in and out. Like I don't lose love for anybody. It just we have our talking periods and then we don't. And then we do again. And then we don't.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. I really am.
Yeah. Respect. I really don't. I mean, I have some that are like that, where it's like a period of time, but I don't really have too many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't really imagine it being like that because growing up in like middle school, I talked to my friends every single day.
Mhm.
Like every single day FaceTime from the time I got home until like 2 in the morning.
Literally.
And then every single day. So like growing up and phasing out of that. It was kind of weird, but it
Yeah.
has to happen. It has to. It's a part
Yeah.
of growing up.
Yeah, the older you get, the more it's like,
We're in our
you
own lives.
yeah, you dwell on it when you're younger and then you get older and it's like, oh, like just more of an understanding
Yeah.
um of how friendships go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think it is possible to have it all? And I think it all varies for each person because like some things may be more important to you. Maybe happiness is more important than money to you, or maybe like vice versa.
Yeah.
So,
Like
and I
what's your
think
definition of having it all?
for me, there has to be a financial aspect.
Yeah.
Has to. Um, I think being proud of what you do. And I think that is a lost thing.
Mm.
Or I think it's just changed.
being able to have um the religious aspect, like, having that relationship, your friendships, your family, financially, being financially stable, um just everything that keeps you going, keeps you happy, but you have to find that balance.
And I think religion is the head of it. If you
100%.
lock in, everything else is going to fall in place.
And that's where you get your peace from.
I feel like that's kind of a, depending on who you are and what you believe in, that's kind of a, that question can answer itself,
Mhm.
but you still have to do the work with having boundaries.
Like self-respect too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
expand on that.
Um I was really just watching TikToks about that today too. Um, mm, just like respecting yourself more, of not allowing people to treat you a certain way and to continue certain patterns. Making yourself a priority.
Period.
Making yourself a priority. Um, and just putting yourself first.
Yeah.
And not allowing certain things to continue to happen to yourself.
If you are sure of yourself and you know you stand on what you believe in, you stand on what your parents taught you, you have decency, whatever, nobody's going to be able to come in your life and try you
Yeah.
because you're not going to go for it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's hard. I only know that kind of stuff now because I've gone through stuff.
Yeah.
It's hard to know that before.
100%. It
You
it
can't
doesn't
see it from that side.
it doesn't matter how many times somebody could tell you, your parents, you know,
Yes.
like your family. It doesn't matter. You have to go through the that situation, the heartbreak, the whatever, the fallout, for you to understand and realize, like, you have to love yourself, because if you don't love yourself, you can't love somebody else,
You
whether it's a
can't.
relationship or even a friendship. You have
Yeah.
to put yourself first, because you can't fill their cup up if your cup isn't full.
Right.
And love is the strongest thing ever.
Yeah. That is so true.
Yeah.
So it really boils down to like a self-respect. And
Hmm.
so do you think that it could be, I mean, I don't know. I feel like it could be taught, but I don't know if it would do any good.
I
Like imagine having a daughter and you try to teach her, love yourself, blah 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 blah, but especially with how the world is now,
Yeah.
access to social media, I really feel like there's really nothing you can, I don't think there's nothing you can do, but I know I didn't really pay attention to my parents growing up for real. I had to be by myself and feel those things to
Yeah.
really to understand. And by the time you have an understanding of it, it's already late. It's too late. You've gone through it. But do you think that you could teach that if you had a kid? Do you think that could be taught?
I feel like if it's a constant,
Yeah, I was gonna say it has to be
it
like,
has to be constant. Like, that's like one of the almost like affirmations in a sense.
yeah,
Um, Constantly telling your daughter that, or even your son,
yeah,
just constantly letting them know and telling them. Because my parents told me, of course, especially when I did start dating, getting my first boyfriend and everything like that. Of course, they told me. But, like, at that point, I was already dating. So it's
yeah,
like, go in one ear, out the other, until I go through the heartbreak.
right,
So I feel like if you start at a young age, and it's a constant thing, I feel like you can teach someone, but if it gets to the point where, you're not making it consistent, then you have to go through it. But I feel like it also depends on, like, where you grow up too.
in terms of like geography.
I guess so. Yeah, because I feel like, my parents are from New York, and my my aunt, she's from New York, which I call her my aunt, but she's really a family friend. Um and just like, since I look at her as my bigger, like, my big sister. I don't have any sisters. So, just the way that she has like she's so tiny, so petite, but she's so like aggressive.
Hmm.
And she has that backbone and everything like that. And I feel like, that partially comes from um growing up in New York and in that environment of it being so completely different than what it is in Georgia.
Yeah.
So they experience a lot more up there than we probably ever did, you know? Um, so I feel like they already have that instilled in them just because of the environment that they're in and what they have to see and what they've, just what they've gone through.
Hmm. I think a lot of people don't really know how to respond to a confident young person. It
Yeah.
could be read wrong
Yeah.
or being like grown or being too mature, but sometimes it's just, confidence. And I know we were talking about it from like being a mother, but the biggest as a girl, the biggest thing that I feel like kept me in check was having a dad,
Mhm.
because there's just certain things you don't do.
Yeah.
So when I lost my dad, I went wild for a second, and then I was like, "Whoa, reel it in, like what's going on?" But I think that plays a really big part of like of what you do, like having that, not shame, but accountability.
I mean, I feel like having both of your parents is just really a necessity.
It is, but
You
most
know,
people don't.
exactly. Like regardless of, you know, that we're females. Yeah, of course we need our dad, but we also need our mom, Like for me, I was fortunate enough to have both of my parents, and, you know, both of my parents being together, and, me being able to grow up. Um, so I see where there's certain places in my life where like my dad is my go-to, but then there's certain areas in my life where my mom's my go-to, and it makes me be the person that I am. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It's that's why you have to choose who you have kids
Ooh.
with, because I know I know
Oh.
because you
And
yeah.
one thing that really will irk my nerves bad, I'll
Mhm.
see a woman pregnant. I'm talking 8 months, and like doing hard ass work.
Mhm.
Like, I'm sorry. I don't know. At the end of the day, it's a choice.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say you chose it, but I mean, still, shout out to you for providing for your kid
Yeah.
and stepping up. Like, no, I'm not shaming nobody, but we just have to really be more careful. I don't think any woman, unless you just absolutely want to, should be working throughout their pregnancy,
Yeah.
especially laborious.
Yeah.
I was talking to a dude once, and I remember he told me like there was a woman, she was like 9 months pregnant, and she's a truck driver.
Huh?
A truck driver?
Uh-uh.
Girl, come on. You
No,
need to be at home.
literally.
You need to be at
What?
home. I really think people, they do not put in, not a lot of thought goes into a child.
Mm-hmm.
And
Nowadays, yeah.
it's too,
Definitely not.
people are too callous with it. That's a person. And like you said, I didn't grow up with my mom, so I know there's things that I lacked growing up because of that.
Yeah.
With that being said, like,
That's why your dad was your everything.
right. And
Yeah.
so I'm not gonna have, first of all, because my dad meant so much to me, I'm not just gonna have a kid with somebody who ain't shit. Why would
Yeah.
I do that disservice to myself and my child? I wouldn't. I
Yeah.
will be happily by myself before I do that because it's not worth it.
Facts.
And that's why there's so many people who are so broken today and so hurt because they're just here. No one loved them, no one cared for them. They're just here
Mm-hmm.
on survival.
Yeah.
So I think people, that children just need to be taken way more serious.
Yeah.
Is not something that's a lifelong commitment. It's not 18 years. That's a lifelong.
You
And
you have to
I
pay
feel like
attention.
every child deserves to grow up in a house that have parents that love each other.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously it doesn't always work out. I mean, you can't, but at least set yourself up to
Yeah.
where, like, don't set yourself up on a disadvantage or your
Right.
kid. It's not fair.
Yeah.
I
I
really
feel,
feel that way.
yeah.
I stand on that.
Yeah. You know, they just get caught up in the, oh, I'm young, and stuff like that. But it's like, you have to really pay attention to what you're doing.
And who
Um,
you're doing.
yeah, because the wrong person and you get
Back to
pregnant by
meeting the
them.
wrong person.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, meeting the wrong person
Yeah.
will steal your youth.
Yeah.
Now you're 40, you're looking back and you're like, I wasted all this time. I wasted all of this. Like, you have to know when to walk away.
Yeah.
I feel like I know that I have discernment. Like, I don't always listen to it though. I be trying to, used to be, I don't really care no more. I'm good. But I used to
Yeah.
try to make, and because I felt like I could see the good in someone and I could
Hmm.
not look at all the bad because I saw this good. But the bad should have been red flags out, like, what?
Yeah.
But
Like you off
trying
the
to,
bat already know. But you
yeah.
just, yeah.
You really just have to go with your gut, and
Yeah.
you're not here to fix every person you meet. It's not your
Mhm.
job.
Yeah.
And I think I said this before, but it shouldn't be that hard. It shouldn't be hard every day. Like, it shouldn't be a battle to love someone.
Yeah.
If it is, it's not your guy.
Yeah. I
Stand
mean
on that.
I feel like relationships are hard, but like if it's constant like toxic, you know, then that's not your person.
Yeah.
Um and yeah, it's, once it comes to that part, like if it's just like a constant thing or if it's just something that like for me like Bible wise, if it's not correlating to that, then it's not your person.
Got to go.
Yeah.
Got to
But like
go.
love is blind too.
What do you mean
Love
by that?
love is very blind, like it blinds you. So like
Yeah.
you love a person so much that it doesn't matter what they do, you kind of let it be.
Fine.
Yeah, you let it be, you let it happen because you want to be with this person so bad.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Is love enough? No.
Yeah. Um it's
No.
it's so hard, like just imagining like loving a person, um, you would think that love would be enough, but it's just so much more work than just loving
It's
a person.
so much
It's so much, like,
accountability,
yeah,
respect. It's
loyalty.
love is not enough.
It's a lot more. Yeah.
If you try to make it enough, then you're gonna put yourself through hell, and it's not worth it because
Yeah.
you're just gonna. It may take 3 years, 10 years, but you'll finally realize that it wasn't enough.
Yeah.
It's not. So you don't come to that understanding easily. You have to go through it. You have to feel it and know that you can love someone, but that they're still gonna do what they want to do.
Yeah.
They might even love you, which makes it so sick and twisted, but they're still going to do what they want to do.
Facts.
So at that point, you just gotta, you know,
Facts.
find peace in being by yourself and move on.
Just move on.
Move
That's a fact.
on.
Now she's talking to me.
No, no, I wasn't. I'm talking to myself. But
I feel you.
we talked about boundaries. How do you feel about female friends in a relationship? Like you're dating a dude, he has female friends. Can men and women be friends?
I think so. Um, because my dad has female friends that he grew up with, but like it's not like he talks to them on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
It's not on an everyday basis. Like whenever he goes to New York or whatever, and it's an event that he's going to, he has female friends there that he grew up with, and my mom, she doesn't care.
Right.
Um, my mom, my mom doesn't have any, my mom doesn't have any friends. I'm her friend.
Oh,
Um, so my dad doesn't have to really like think about that in a sense, but for me, I feel like you could have male friends in a relationship. Like a
you
female can have male
absolutely
friends.
can.
You know, I get the point of view of like the male's perspective of not wanting their girl to have guy friends. Because the first thing that comes in their head is, oh,
It's more than friends. It's not
yes, like
friends.
he wants to be more than your friend. That's why he's
Yeah.
still your friend. That's why he's been friends with you all this time and blah blah blah, blah. Like that is so annoying because it's like you have the say of letting that happen or not. So I feel like it's an insecurity in you that
Saying that you wouldn't be able to be like, no.
yeah,
Like you wouldn't say, oh, okay. I get that.
yeah.
That makes sense.
Yes. Like if the homeboy tried pushing up on the girl, that's
You
the
just go for it.
girl's, yeah, that's the girl's fault. You know what I'm saying? Um but I don't know. I feel like you
Yeah,
can't.
I feel like you absolutely can with everything, open communication, boundaries, have the conversation before. Don't let it just happen and now you're having to backtrack and figure it out. You first start talking to someone you're serious. Hey, I have friends that are guys, like you just have to have an open communication about it. With that being said, a lot of people hide behind the we're just friends. That's stupid and childish. That's
Yeah.
stupid. But a mature adult, you absolutely can. It really boils down to who you are as a person and what you go for and what you're not gonna go for. But that is a good point that like I never really thought of it like that. Like that would be insulting to be like, oh, I wouldn't be able to contain myself or like I would just go for that.
Mhm.
I think like with anything, it just has to be done out of respect and boundaries and taking
So,
accountability too.
okay, so let's say you're in a relationship, right? And you have, let me see. Your partner, your boyfriend has a girlfriend, a female friend, and they have tried, they used to talk, or
No,
they tried,
not going for
or
it.
they've done worse than,
No.
but they've come out of that though. Still
Mm-mm.
no.
No. That's different though. That's not just a
Okay.
friend. That's your ex. That's your
Um,
ex.
okay, so let's take that part out. Okay. No, like not talking. So just your man's has a female friend and they did something.
That's still your ex. I'm still not going for it.
Okay. Okay.
Not you thought the
Okay.
talking would
Okay.
change it.
Okay. Another one. Your man's
What's this about?
your
I'm
man's has a
sensing a pattern. I'm trying
okay,
to
wait. Your man's has a female friend, but all that they did was kiss.
I don't really care. Okay, kissing is really not that important to me, but like what are they doing? What they doing? Where they going?
Yeah. I feel like I don't know. I feel like some friendships could get out of that, like, if that was like a past thing, or like, you have some like male friends that like it's not like you flirt with them, but like if an outsider were to see, y'all two interact, it comes as it comes off as flirting, but like that's just like kind of your friendship with that person. You don't look at me like that. You've
I'm
never
trying
had
to follow, but I'm
s- so for me, I've always I've always had guy friends. Like majority of my friends have always been guys. Like I don't know why. I really don't know why. It's just what it is, which I've mentioned this. I think I mentioned it in the first podcast. Um so for me, have had a friend before where I'm not really flirting with him. That's just kind of how we communicate to each other. And that's how he communicates to me. But there has never been more than just that. So would I be wrong to still be friends with that person and be in a relationship?
no. I think again, open communication, and you just have to be real with yourself, within yourself. If you know that it's not anything serious,
Yeah.
it's never going to be anything serious,
Yeah.
you should be able to communicate that to your partner and they should be able to take your word for it.
Yeah.
If you feel like a slight, like, ooh, maybe, then I think you need to reevaluate and like decide what's more important to you. But generally, mature adults, yes. I mean, a kiss, especially if it was like way in the past, you can get past that. That's not
Yeah.
really anything. Anything else more than that, that is your ex.
Yeah.
I ain't going
Yeah.
for it. You
Yeah.
know.
I've had like a similar conversation with two of my friends, one being a guy, one being a female. And he was saying like it's okay to have guy friends in a relationship, but if y'all have had any kind of sexual anything, then no. Um, but
Yeah,
if it,
that's too far.
yeah, yeah, which I mean obviously is understandable,
Yeah,
but
way too far.
yeah,
But like at that point, like you once that line's been crossed, you're at the point of no return, honestly. So you just gotta.
But, like, what if you made that mistake, though, and you did that with a person, and you don't wanna do that with that person, but you still care about your friendship?
I feel like you risk your friendship once you do that. So, depending on where you are in life, if you're single, these are single people, right? Gotta be.
Yeah, like, yes, you're single, you know, you're single, you
That's
have
why, see, and that happens a lot. I hate that, like,
Mhm.
weird, no label situation. I don't play that. I don't know.
Well,
If
yeah,
we're going at it, we done had some talks. We done already talked about it because I have been too like I ain't got time for it.
like, what do you mean?
Like if I'm because a lot of the times things don't just spontaneously happen. It builds up over time. So
Yes.
if I'm feeling away, then I feel like we have to have a conversation before. That's just me. So you
Yeah.
know what you're getting into. And so that when it's done, you're not sitting here stuck, don't know where to go, and now things are weird.
Yeah.
So
I got you, I got you.
open communication,
I got you.
being a responsible, emotionally intelligent adult.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And I stand on that also. I stand on everything. Well, I think we're concluding episode 4.
Yes.
Ah!
I'm
Oh
so
my
good.
gosh. I like this. I'm excited for people to hear this one.
Yeah.
As always, like, comment, subscribe, watch our TikTok, follow us on Instagram, follow us
Share,
on Facebook. I
share.
think we should share this one with your favorite situationship.
Oof.
The one that you want back, but you're not bold enough to tell them. Just send them this and we'll see.
Yep.
Maybe things work out. They
Yes.
won't, but maybe.
See, that's your problem.
I'm real. No, I'm not with the BS, man. Ain't no maybe and hopeful. No. It didn't work out.
Maybe
Let it
things
go.
will work out. They
Maybe
won't.
not. Maybe not.
It won't work out. So just
It
don't
won't.
even do it.
Yes. No, still send them the video though. We want them to view it, but
But you
don't get
never know. It may work out. Like,
God.
you
It's
never
not gonna work
know.
out. No. No. Closure's not real. There is no such thing as right person, wrong time, wrong person. It but you know what? You know what makes it good? There's literally like 5 billion people on earth. You'll find someone. You will
Yeah.
find another person. And you will find that feeling again. It is not exclusive to one person.
Amen.
Yes. Peace,
Amen.
love, and light and happiness. That's it. That's all I got. I stand on that.
Yes.
Yay!
Yay.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Life move fast and you do what you want.